Cool.
Hello, and welcome back to Broken Chess, the show that firmly believes in the forward march of technological progress. I am here for the first time in a long time once again with Jack Beal. Jack, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Everything going along in the Big Apple?
Oh, it keeps going. It keeps on appling. It keeps bigging.
Never
It's
sleeping. I know that.
definitely that.
Yeah. All right. So the way that we are playing this, we're not actually playing. The games have already been played. I have played a handful of games against the chess.com bots. And what we're calling this is Turing test chess, or you could go Blade Runner chess if you want to tie in with the unqualified film bros. And the way that this is going to work is I'm going to tab through the moves of one of these games here. Jack, at the point that they feel comfortable, confident, comfortable, whatever, is going to guess which one is me, the human, and which one is the bot, and and we will see if they are right or wrong. Um, well, I think we're going to do best of three because I don't think evaluating any one of these moves would take too long. So without further ado, let's get through it. So we'll so the classic King's Opening, but the modern defense, as chess.com is so kindly pointing out here.
Fun.
And getting the knights out, principal chess.
So it's starting. I'll commentate
Yeah,
for
good.
flavor. I feel like the symmetrical opening for white feels very human. I mean, I feel my having played a lot of chess with like absolute beginners, I feel like that's like a classic like two knights out front, very classic like beginner's opening.
Or is it a bot programmed like a beginner?
This is true. This is true. I'd be curious to see how many like very high level games open this way.
Yeah, that would be, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but maybe we can talk about the opening after the end. But
Cool.
anyway, so white moved to pawn to e5, castle. That's very principled as well, very human. Unfortunately, it hangs that knight. And bishop out. Love seeing white get their pieces out here. Black counterattacks, pinning the knight to the queen. White castles, okay. White castle. Anyway,
Huh.
not quite sure what that move is. White taking the open file there. Love to see that. Okay. Any thoughts on this?
It's hard to say. I mean, it feels very and I'm certainly not a chess theorist, nor am I a high level player, but um it feels like the black player is I mean, maybe on the defense, but also maybe playing a little bit more conservatively. And I wonder if that's like the optimization this engine happens to be using, or whichever algorithm the engine is sort of playing out of. Um, but I don't know. On the other hand, like despite what I said about the very like human sort of symmetrical opening for white, I do wonder if like the fact that white feels kind of firmly on the offense here could be, maybe white is playing a more like optimized to theory game.
Okay,
I don't know
interesting.
if I like I'm a little bit on the fence, but I think I'm presently on the side of like maybe white is the computer player
Okay.
is my current leaning.
Let's see if the next few moves do anything to sway you in either direction. So we got no, b4 there rather, and then counterattacking the bishop takes the knight, or no, yeah, takes the pawn rather, and then black pushes. So white takes that pawn, or takes that pawn, bishop with a pawn. So quite a sequence there we had from move. What about nine to
Yeah, I
9?
I waiting that long to take that bishop. Actually, can you rewind a couple of moves? I'm
Sure.
curious what was.
So we,
So there was this bishop taking going on, right?
yeah. So
That's
bishop
black's
went
next
back
step.
one, push the
Okay.
pawn, White counterattacked pawn to h3.
And then takes that knight. And then
But
white
then
takes...
white took the pawn,
Right.
not the bishop. So the lower
That that feels that feels like a computery move to make. That feels like some sort of micro optimization that I don't know if I would make that same move being a human.
and then
I'm
black.
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Well, yeah. So black pushes this pawn to d5 rather than retreating the bishop
Right.
or taking the knight, and then the bishop immediately gets taken.
Right, which seems like they're... I'm inclined to believe that there was a better way to handle that.
You would think.
I feel comfortable at this point saying that maybe White's the computer player.
Would you like to lock in your guess?
How much more game is there?
That's
13.
On move 13 of 47.
Whoa, so it goes on a while.
Yeah, I mean, the end game you can kind of.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. Let's take... give me like another like 3 or 4 turns.
Okay.
I'm curious if this like flips around in an interesting way, but...
All right. Who would you say is doing better at this moment?
I mean, it feels like White's still kind of in the aggressive position.
Yeah. So you can look at the.
Do we have a score?
Bottom. White's
up.
Oh
Yeah.
So in that sense, certainly there, but their position is perhaps a bit more scattered. I mean, you got 2 double pawns there in the c file.
Yeah, and there's that big hole in the middle, but I guess Black has that too.
Yeah.
Sort of in like the d2, e3 kind of range.
All right. So here we go. What happens next? Knight to d7, and then kind of breaking open the center a bit here, but Black has no part of it. So White takes. Queen. So White takes again. Pawn has had quite a journey. That went what? B took on c3, then
and then went all the way up to
D,
C,
and then back to C, and then finally, it's a shame it didn't make it all the way. So.
Truly the Marco Polo of pawns.
Yeah, I would. Oh, I guess it's not possible to bring up one all the way back because you need an extra file to go through. But it would be fun to see just how far across you could get a particular pawn over the course of the game. Anyway, that wasn't a taking piece, but attacks a rook, which moves behind the queen, double barreling here. White defends. Black attacks the bishop, which goes back. Queen into e4. White retreats and attacks that queen, which goes back, but not to where it was. To
right.
White offers a queen trade. Black says no. White pushes it out again. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a trade. No. Yes, a trade of rooks. But White lost a pawn. Queen attacks the knight. Black says, go ahead, take it. So White does. White says, you can't have the pawn, though. Or no, Black says you can't have the pawn, though, rather. Sorry. Queen goes back. Okay. Attacking that d4 pawn seems to be like the centerpiece of this game at this point. White defends it again. I'm not quite sure what that... I guess it pins the bishop.
Yeah, this and some of these moves in the last couple of turns from Black also sort of strike me as sort of opaque plays. I personally associate some of the one square moves of queens can sometimes be a very artificial move to make, or for a move that's optimizing a sort of unclear heuristic. But then again, I guess plenty of humans do that when they have pieces in slightly awkward positions.
Yes, or when they just don't quite know what to do next.
Right.
All right.
Because you can always shuffle a pawn somewhere and not.
Okay, that's an interesting. Okay. Queen goes back. Queen goes up. King goes over. Okay, so we're attacking the king. King goes back. Didn't like what he saw at the window there. Queen takes the check. King flees. And now queen can't continue attacking because the bishop protects.
Right,
so
right.
goes back. Rook goes over. Okay, so queen trade here. But white loses a piece. White loses the bishop.
Right.
Bishop and the queen for the queen. Pushes a pawn. King goes somewhere. Rook pins the bishop. King goes away. Bishop gets taken.
I think I'm tempted to see how the last couple of turns play out since we're so close, but
Sure, yeah.
I think I have my final answer.
I'll blitz him out here. And there we go. So
I think White's the computer player in this game.
you are incorrect.
Really?
Yes, I was white in this game, and black was, I believe the name is Laura, which is a bot rated at 1100.
Okay. Cool. What's your rating?
My daily rating is 1200. My rapid rating is 800. But
Okay.
I've noticed, well, I suppose because there's no time limit when you play the bots, so I definitely I can play bots higher or like closer to the daily rating than
Right. Okay. No, that makes sense. So
over one. All right,
Dang.
let's I will unshare the screen so that I can copy the next game file and you will not see it because that would be a real bummer.
Although, I mean, all of that said, I suppose it should not be surprising to me that you are much better at chess, having been doing all of this chess-related activity.
That is true. All right, no, I don't want to play a game. I just want to look at my games. Come on, I was just there. Game archive. There we go. Games against a computer. We can cut this out a little bit if need be. Or we can vamp.
It'd be very funny to throw in like one of the Deep Blue matches. See.
Oh yeah.
See if I. Who's
yeah.
It was Kasparov, right? Yeah.
Kasparov, yeah. Yeah, two of them were me playing robots, and one of them was one of the greatest chess players of all time playing against one of the greatest computers of all time.
So all of these matches come from untimed play?
Yes, there's no clocks when you play bots.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Let me actually confirm who played who in this.
We can both guess.
Oh, shoot. I went on it on my phone, which screwed it up. So let me copy it again.
Thank goodness for the magic of editing.
Okay. All right. And we will re-share the screen. Okay, so.
Okay. I recognize the starting position, I think.
F4, the bird's opening, and the Dutch variation, which are two terms that I'm not super familiar with.
And that looks like the Sturm Gambit, if I had to guess.
Props to you. Yes, the Sturm Gambit. Okay. So this feels like it's using more obscure openings. It doesn't mean it's a higher level game. It could equally be two players who luck.
The stack of pawns like that with the bishop, that's like a London system thing, right?
With white.
Okay.
Yeah, when white goes d4 and then bishop, whatever mirroring it would be to f4.
Okay.
That's the London.
Is that only viable as white?
I think I'm not super versed in how those. I know you can call it's a reverse London if it's with the
sure, yeah.
Not normal color. But yeah, typically these openings only refer to like one color for doing something.
I see.
All right, knight comes out. Getting ready to castle from white. Other knight out, very principled, very very human, or perhaps very robotic. Who knows?
the early castle reads sometimes to me as a human thing for like low level players, because
Yeah,
it feels like a sort of like comfort slash foresight thing. And
definitely. Yeah,
my
that's
guess is that a lot of, I mean, I don't know about chess.com's computers, but my understanding of a lot of the computers I've played against is that they're not doing like long term strategizing.
yeah.
They're just doing theoretical
Yeah.
optimization, like move to move.
Well, you see both players castle back to back here.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
an interesting thing is the only, like the top level bots, Stockfish and whatnot,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the only place that humans have an advantage over them is the openings because they don't know formal actual openings. So whereas
Right, because they're
top,
not recognizing openings and like picking classic defenses.
right, and they haven't been programmed with it essentially.
Right.
So humans can actually get somewhat of a slightly better position out of the opening. But then
Curious.
once it turns into the middle game and pieces get out, pieces get traded, Stockfish always wins.
Right.
Anyway,
And Stockfish is the state of the art right now, right?
yeah, Stockfish is generally considered to be the best, but there are a couple other ones whose names escaping me, so I'm not going to try to misremember them. Anyway, okay, bishop counterattacking the bishop, trading the bishop, taking the knight.
Okay.
This well, I'm not going to comment on much aspects of the game because I know what the deal is with it. Knight hops in, gets rid of the pawn. Not quite sure what that does. Odd double, triple stack of knights and queen there. Okay. Takes the knight out. Trades. Nope, we do not get a rook trade. Not get a rook trade. We get a free bishop, though. Oh, no, not a free bishop. That's my board vision right there.
Free bishop as in
and
free lunch.
Now we get a rook trade. Okay, so white is up 1 point of material, just the extra pawn, but otherwise it's pretty equal. Not pretty equal, it is equal, but... okay, attacks the queen, and slides out of the way. White would desperately love to pick up that pawn, or black would love it. White won't let him. Pins that pawn, though. Okay, and attacks the rook. Oh, and that's... You hate to see that. That was a fork. Oh. So White had to move the king, fix it up. That pawn. Check. King flees. Oh, and that's what we call a royal fork.
Okay.
I hate to see that. So there goes the queen. Picks up the rook for compensation. But now it's a knight and 5 pawns against a queen and a knight and 6 pawns. And we're just not going to win that. Well, we're not going to win that. I'm sure some other higher level players against lower players could win that, but that is certainly a losing endgame. So there we have it, game number 2. Anything you'd like to see again?
No, I don't know. I'm inclined to say that white's the human player in this one, and black is the computer. My initial impression is that it feels like, and this is purely intuitive on my part, but it feels like white is kind of paced in the same sort of way as the previous game, as the white was human in the previous game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, as the human player in the previous game, and there isn't some of that weird like stiltedness that I sometimes associated with the pace of computer players, where like sometimes they'll be like on a tear and taking out a bunch of pieces or something, and then there's like they like move a rook 1 space in the back of the board or something, and I feel like that, at least by that metric, it feels like the play style of black in this game is maybe a little bit closer to that. We'll see how badly I'm embarrassing myself for all the really good chess players watching this.
All right, so
But
do you
I think my final answer is White's the human player.
alas, you are incorrect yet again.
Really?
Yes, this
Okay.
bot was Javier, who was rated 1900.
Oh, okay,
So you
okay.
flatter me. Thank you.
Well, I guess in that regard, it feels like the same sort of like discrepancy in level between the two players. Like it felt like one, at least in this game, it felt like White was consistently making like a fairly obvious good move,
Yeah.
and Black
Yeah.
was kind of like catching up.
I've done a couple of these, challenging myself to play bots that I know I'm going to lose against, just to see how long I can hang on. I did the same number of moves against the Fabriano Caruana bot, which I'm pretty proud of, because he
Cool.
was a contender for world champion. Obviously, his bot wasn't, but
Someday.
yeah. So yeah, this 0 for 2, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you've lost the series, but I can pull up one more, and we can.
Yeah, no, let's hit one more. I'm curious. This is very fun for me because my judgment of chess games in which I'm not playing is founded in very little fact, very little empirical science here.
Okay. Yeah, this one has what I want, and it's the fewest moves, so we're gonna go with that one.
Also, like a nice like 5-move mate or something.
There's big drama going on in the chess world now. I don't know if you've seen any of that in the news.
I don't believe so.
All right. Well, I don't want to be spreading rumors, but there's a contention between two players who were scheduled to play each other in an online tournament today, and one of them resigned after one move. And he knew he was going to be playing him, so it's not like that was a surprise. But it was, yeah, it's something.
I'd imagine it'd be quite startling to see that in a live match.
Yeah, well, it was.
It was live in regards to time, I'm sure.
Yes, but it was online, unfortunately. All right. And, okay, so here we are for yet another time. And all right, bombs away.
Cool.
Okay, e6. Okay, getting the bishop out, which is good, developing a piece. Unfortunately, it's immediately getting attacked, so it goes back. Okay, supporting that in the center. Other bishop goes out. Beautiful, almost symmetry. Knight out. Pushing the a pawn. You go, little buddy. Okay. Castling, love to see it, and then the rook goes back. Free pawn. Not a free pawn. Attack, it retreats. Black will not be castling. Okay. That's an odd move.
Yeah, my working suspicion is that Black is the computer in this game. Because we got that A rook movement in the first couple of turns, shuffling back
and shuffling back again,
and that bishop move.
Oh, there's another royal fork, and there's another. Well, that's not a fork, but it's. There's another check. Running. Queen finally gets involved a little bit. Attacks the rook, which Black seems unconcerned about. And check, block, checkmate.
My intuition is that White in this game is a human player against a lower level computer.
That is a very good guess. Yes, this is I'm pretty sure the bot's name is Oliver, who's rated 550. So
All right.
I think that shows in the quality of some of those moves there.
Yeah.
Not much really to analyze or to learn from this game. Um, the way, I mean, well, I suppose your impression of this, because I talked with our mutual friend Catherine, who I hope will be on this channel sometimes, and who's getting into chess, but not that I'm good at chess, but isn't as good as me. And she was saying that she felt like the bots moved kind of too like mechanical or precise, and I don't know which one she's playing against, but I have certainly found like that the lower levels, probably like 1,000, 1,100 and under, the way that, because it's very difficult when you're a higher rated player or machine in this case to pretend it to be lower, and the way that
Right.
works a lot of the time is you like do 3 or 4 good moves and then a couple boneheaded moves. And
Right.
so I think really what affects the rating of these computers is the frequency at which they do the boneheaded ones, which, you know, for Javier, the 1900 is not very often. It's, you know, higher than most people are ever going to be at chess. But for Oliver here at 550 is almost every other move.
Right. Right. And I suppose like with human players of the sort of like, you know, maybe like sub, you know, 1000 level, my suspicion is that there tends to be like a focus on developing certain areas of the board at certain times.
Mm.
Where if like something's happening right in the middle, like a human player, like an elementary human player, might be like kind of just doing everything in the middle or just moving stuff around the middle, and then uh, whereas a lot of bots maybe will sort of be more all over the board and sort of doing that sort of full board because they could, you know, a bot doesn't have an attention span
Or
and it doesn't,
eyes.
yeah, or eyes, and it doesn't have like a sense of uh, focus and prioritization in the way that a human does.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Um, all right. So, what are your general thoughts? How fun, how broken? Not that this was playing chess per se, but we'd love for your thoughts all the same.
um, I mean, I guess the brokenness is proportional to, I guess, the player's chess experience. I would imagine
Mm.
a very, very good high level player would probably be much quicker and have more uh, scientific insight to work with.
Yeah,
Um,
I think this is something that gets easier the better the better you are at chess.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
just get, yeah, and you just get like you get better eyes for it, and you get a better feel for what,
Mm.
you know, what different kinds of games look like on the board.
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of virtual chess, so especially like looking at a virtual board is like slightly unusual for me. Um, but
Yeah. It took me quite a while to get used to playing playing virtually.
yeah, but
It is.
it's neat. It's I mean it's I think it's certainly a fun exercise.
Yeah,
Um,
and just the resources of having so many more people willing to play you
right, right.
online around the world. Uh, I I enjoy this task. I am glad that I fooled you. I was worried that it would
Ha,
be too easy. I think a more fun way to do it would have been if it weren't just my games. Uh,
right, right,
if it was either another, like the opposite way to do it would be fun to have 3 people play the same bot.
right,
And then probably the toughest level would be 3 different people at different skill levels playing different bots at different skill levels. That would
right,
be
right.
really, really tough.
Just as many variables as possible.
Yeah.
I like it.
Um, so I'd like to revisit this at some point later. Um, yeah, it was an interesting challenge. Well, I wasn't challenged at all, but uh,
As the arbiter of the experience.
yes. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope please play along in the comments. I probably should have said this earlier in the video, but if somehow you got here and didn't know who was who, I hope you enjoyed guessing along, and let us know if you got them all right or all wrong or anywhere in the middle. And as always, let us know if you have any other variants that you'd like us to try.
Oh
And
yeah.
we will see you next week. Bye.